Imagine that you're dreaming and some very handsome man with long hair and a twinkle in his eyes comes up to you and says to you, "Hey, you're dreaming." And you look at him, you're confused. You're like, "Oh, maybe. Am I dreaming? What?" Like you look at your hands, you double check. You're like, "No, this is pretty real. It's pretty solid. I'm definitely not dreaming." And the person says, "No, you don't understand. When you're dreaming, you don't know that you're dreaming, or else there'd be no point of the dream." And you look at the person, you're a little bit confused, but eventually you're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. This is clearly not a dream. It's real. I'm in it right now. This is real. And then later, you go about your dream day, and then you wake up and you've forgotten all about that person that told you that it wasn't a dream. And you get out of bed, you probably go on your phone, check Instagram, and you forget everything. Now, what I want to tell you in this video is that you have no awareness of the present moment. And you basically sleepwalk through your entire life. 99% of your day is spent in a lull state of unconsciousness, where you're basically just on autopilot and you're drifting through your day and you're not conscious. Now, here's the problem. As you're watching this video, you are now hyper conscious because I've triggered that within you, because I'm telling you that you're not conscious. So your mind is going to play a trick on you, and it's going to say, "No, Adam, I'm pretty conscious. What are you talking about? I'm conscious right now," right? So what you're saying is a lie. But think back to before you stumbled upon this video. Were you conscious that you were even on Instagram? And then now your mind's going to trick you. It's going to say, "Oh, yes, Adam, of course I knew I was on Instagram." But were you conscious of even going on your phone and clicking on the Instagram app? Are you conscious of the sensations in your feet right now? And the answer is no. Before I even told you about the sensations in your feet, you were not aware of the sensations in your feet. And in the same way, until someone comes up to you and tells you that you are unconscious, you don't know that you're unconscious because you're in the dream. When you're dreaming, you don't know that you're dreaming because you're in the dream. You're unconscious. So the number one priority of your entire life should be to raise the quality of your consciousnness and to be more conscious in every waking moment. So consciousness, I'm using this term interchangeably with the word awareness. And awareness is the most misunderstood topic in all of humanity, because awareness is so difficult to talk about, because you can't come right out and tell someone that they have no awareness. Because, like I said, awareness your mind will trick you and will tell you that you do have awareness, well, meanwhile you don't. And what I mean by awareness is basically just knowing what is happening right now. Just like knowing what's happening. And most people are only able to experience the surface levels of the present moment. But what if I told you that your everyday life, what you experience day to day in your waking state, is like only the tip of the iceberg of what is possible for you to experience in your consciousness? As I've been practicing meditation for almost 3 years now, for an hour and sometimes 2 hours every single day, my awareness increases. I have more awareness of the present moment. And I start to realize how asleep I am. I know I'm actually aware that 99% of my day I'm asleep. I'm on autopilot mode. But the meditation is able to show me that, because the meditation, when I sit there for an hour, 95% of that hour, I am totally lost in thoughts, or I have some type of unconscious tension in my body. And meditation is just constantly bringing me back to the present moment over and over again. But if you don't have this type of meditation practice, you are basically stuck in a dream, and you're wasting your life because you're so unconscious and you're only experiencing the surface levels of life. But there's so much more beauty and depth when you are able to raise your awareness and become aware of all the subtle aspects of life that are happening right now in the present moment. And you might say, Adam, what subtle aspects of life? There are no subtle aspects of life. What I have here is basically all I got. But that's not true, because you are underestimating the power of states of consciousness. Right now, you are only in one state of consciousness, a waking state of consciousness. But as you might know, human beings can experience a wide range of different states of consciousness. And a different state of consciousness would be dreaming consciousness, which is totally different than waking consciousness. And there are so many different states of consciousness that you have not experienced that would totally transform and recontextualize everything you believe life to be. And it would totally throw you for a loop. Like, your entire model of what you think life is, that you're a human being and you live on an earth in some type of 3D solid universe, and it's just like a massive like sandbox that is like somehow three-dimensional and is solid and real. That entire narrative completely flies out the window when you are able to tap into higher states of consciousness, which can be shown to you through, first of all, daily meditation practice. That's a very gradual way to ease yourself into higher states of consciousness and higher awareness of the present moment. But there's other ways where you can get a serious meditation's kind of like dipping your toe and slowly submerging yourself into the pool of life. Whereas you can also do something like LSD or mushrooms, where that is like jumping right into the pool. And a lot of people aren't able to handle the insights and the truths that are shown to them on mushrooms and LSD, because their consciousness is being expanded so much that it's scary. And this is the ultimate reason why we stay in our low dream state of consciousness. The reason why is because your entire life and everything you think to be true is a lie. Like, you believe that you were born, you believe that you are a person with a name, and you believe that you live on a planet in a certain country. All of this is a story, and it's a false story. And just me telling you this, you can't even understand, because I can't even fully understand. But I have had glimpses and I have seen many times that this life that we're living is just a story. And when you start to raise your consciousness, the story starts to unravel and you start to see that it's an illusion and it's a story. And this is so threatening because you are a story. So, as you raise your consciousness so much, you experience ego death. Your ego, which is what you believe yourself to be, starts to die. That's why people trip out when they do too much mushrooms or LSD, because their consciousness is being expanded so much and their ego is being threatened because their little worldview like this is being expanded and is being broken and shattered. And that's the scariest thing. It will literally feel like you are dying. So it's a lot easier to stay within your little bubble of unconsciousness and sleepwalking through life so that you don't have to experience the pain and suffering that comes with expanding your consciousness and coming face to face with all the lies that you tell yourself about reality and about the world. The default state of consciousness that you live in and that I live in is riddled with lies. So many lies that you tell yourself. And that is why you can't be happy. And that's why you chase so many external forms of pleasure. You even lie to yourself and tell yourself that you are happy while meanwhile you're miserable and you're depressed and there's always something on your mind. You're always anxious about something or you're always sad about something. And you lie to yourself and you lie to other people and you pretend that you're a certain way and meanwhile you're not. It's really your entire mind and your entire being is just percolated with lies. That's what you are. You're literally made of lies, which is why you suffer. Lies cause suffering. So as we meditate and we expand our awareness, you start to see the lies and it hurts. It's so scary to see all the lies that you've been telling yourself. It's emotionally challenging. For example, as I've been meditating for 3 years, I can't eat pizza anymore. I literally can't do it. It's like I am so aware of what that pizza is going to do to my body that I can't even lie to myself and eat that pizza and lie to myself and tell myself that, oh, it's fine. Because ignorance is just one form of unawareness and lies. So unawareness, which is the opposite of meditation, is basically falsehood and is fake. There is so much to unpack here. And I spend a lot of my time thinking about how to communicate these ideas to someone, these ideas of truth, to someone who is so bought into their lies. It's so difficult to communicate these ideas, and I love it so much because it's the most important aspects of life, but at the same time, it's also the most impossible to communicate because I can't come right out of the door and say, you're asleep, you're dreaming, you are miserable all the time, your entire life is unconscious, all of your values are super shallow, and you generally are a terrible example of a human being, and there's so much more to life that you haven't experienced and you don't even know exists, because our culture is on a very low level of psychological development, and we aren't even aware of all the subtle and amazing aspects of life and consciousness that can be tapped into. I can't come right out of the door and say this stuff because your ego, your lies, your ball of shit, your lies, your worldview, what you believe yourself to be. Go watch my video, What is Ego? It's one of my best. All of that gets threatened, and then you feel scared and you don't want to listen to me, and you demonize me and you judge me and you say, that guy Adam, he's weird, he doesn't really know what he's talking about, or like, he's crazy, or he's just some weird hippie, he doesn't understand how reality works. I'm just gonna trust the scientists. The scientists know how reality works. That guy Adam, he's weird, and he's trying to tell me some stuff that I don't really like anyways, so I'm not gonna listen to him. But you also intuit, why am I telling you these things? Am I lying to you? Or is it more likely that you are lying to yourself? Because I have no motive, I have no reason to lie to you. Or maybe I'm lying to myself. But I spend a lot of time thinking and going over and double checking and meditating and studying so many different epistemologies and metaphysics. So what's more likely is that you're snoozing and you're dreaming and you really love being unconscious and asleep. But if you want to be free from suffering, you're going to have to start to slowly wake up. So I hope you like this video. These ideas are so hard to communicate, so I hope you were able to follow, and I will see you in the next video.